Hey guys, doing another video on this 2014 Honda CR-V. Going to be replacing all 4 spark plugs. So you want to go ahead and pop your hood here. So once you got your hood open, spark plugs are going to be right underneath this cover here. But first I'm going to take some compressed air and blow out all this dust and debris real quick. So what you want to do to remove this cover is you got 4 10mm bolts. Go ahead and remove those real quick. And then you go ahead and remove this cover. And then again, I'll take some compressed air, blow that off. So the way I prefer to do this is one spark plug at a time. I just find that a little easier, or you guys can do all 4 at once. So what you want to do is unplug your coil first. So you got this little tab here, you're going to push down. You see that kind of lifts that up, and then you're going to pull straight out with that. And then you got a 10mm bolt holding your coil on. So go ahead and take that off. And then you can go ahead and pull out your coil here. Just like that. And before we take our spark plug out, I'm going to go ahead and blow some compressed air into there just in case there's any dirt in there. So now we can go ahead and remove our spark plug down in there, the cylinder head. What you'll want to use is a 5/8 spark plug socket. And if you take a look inside there, it's kind of hard to see, but there's a black rubber boot in there which kind of grips onto the plug to help pull it out. And then you'll want to get a little extension here. So go ahead and drop this down on there, and you can turn it till you feel it kind of lock onto the spark plug. Get your socket wrench, and let's go ahead and remove that. And these shouldn't be in there very tight, so once you get it kind of loose, most of the time you can unscrew it by hand. And you can pull it out, and there's our old spark plug. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and take a look at our old plug here. You can see this is the Denso Iridium. This is probably the original plug, and I think this has right around 122,000. So it's definitely time to get them replaced. And ended up going with these NGK Rutheniums HX. 4-pack of these, and then it's a 96358. I'll put a link in the description for these. And these do come pre-gapped, so you shouldn't have to set the gap on them. But if you do, it's going to be 0.044 inches. So there's our new plug. And these are kind of highly rated right now. I hear good things about these. I've actually put these in a few cars and they've done well. So, and then what I like to do is just put a really little bit of anti-seize on here. A lot of guys don't like to do this, but I just think it's easier for the next guy who has to remove these. And you don't really need much, just a little bit. Kind of just smear it on. It'll work its way onto the threads once you start screwing it in. So go ahead and take your new plug here, and you're going to go ahead and stick that in your spark plug socket. Get it kind of locked in there. And you don't want to drop this in, just go and kind of slowly set it down in there, because you don't want to mess up that tip. And then you can go ahead and start screwing this in. Always want to screw spark plugs in by hand first. Never want to use an impact or anything, because you don't want to cross thread these. So get these hand tight, nice and snug, and then we'll grab our torque wrench. And you're going to torque these to 13 foot-pounds. Pull that out. Next, go ahead and take your coil, and then you want to take some dielectric grease. I'll put a link in the description for this. You want to just put a little dab of this inside the coil right here, the boot. So just like that. Go ahead and stick this back down in there. Get it set on there. Grab your 10mm coil bolt. And go ahead and tighten that down. And then you go ahead and plug in your coil again. You should hear it click, and you know it's on there. So I'm going to go ahead and move on to these other three here. Alright guys, so as you saw, I got those all done. Really simple to do on these cars. So then just take your cover here, make sure all your coils are plugged in. Drop that on. Get your 4 10mm bolts. Get those all started, and then we'll tighten them down. So then what you want to do is just go ahead and start it. Just make sure everything's good. And then you can see, seems to be running just fine. No check engine light or anything. So I think we're good. Okay, so that's going to be it for the video. Again, this was a 2014 Honda CR-V. Went ahead and replaced all 4 spark plugs. Really easy job to do on these cars. It takes you maybe 10-15 minutes at the most to do all 4. And save yourself some money, do it yourself. This only costed probably around maybe 50-60 bucks. Whereas if you were to take it to a mechanic, they're going to charge you probably around $200 to do this job. So hopefully this video helps you out. If it does, subscribe to my channel. Check out all my other videos. Got quite a few on this car. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.